guys, welcome to Journey to Health and Wellbeing with Sharon Marie. Yesterday I did a video which I ended up deleting because it was bad quality with picture, with sound, because I had the fan going in the background. The lighting wasn't all that great, so I'm kind of going to repeat probably some of it that you've already heard if you did tune into yesterday's talk, but there is also a lot of things that I want to add in that I kind of wasn't thinking too much about. I don't come on my videos and kind of have a script. I just go off whatever's in my head. So basically today I want to talk about depression and anxiety, and I want to talk about stress and how it can hinder our weight loss and our journey and regain. So basically, since before Christmas, I have had a lot of stress, a lot of depression, anxiety. I basically have had depression pretty much all of my life. When I was 8, I started taking medication for my depression. I have been off my medication now for going on, I think, about 4 years, and I used to have episodes where I would have extreme anxiety. I've been down the path before of trying to end my life. I'm a suicide survivor, and I do want to talk about that more in a video to come. But basically, the chemicals in my brain are still there with my depression, and I've never, I one time did go to a psychologist and a psychiatrist, and they kind of diagnosed me with split personality disorder, which is kind of like borderline bipolar, where I get angry, but not to the point of being violent angry or anything, but just get frustrated with myself, just dealing with life situations. When they get stressful, it builds up and it tends to explode like a volcano. But basically, I have kind of been like that lately. So my husband's had a lot going on since before Christmas. I think he has a rotator cuff tear or a frozen shoulder, we're not sure. He has lost all feeling in his left arm and his hands, and also in his back. About 13 years ago, he had back surgery. So he had major back surgery, like he's got rods and screws and a metal cage in his back. So walking, standing, doing any kind of activity is really tough on him. He cannot stand for any more than 5 minutes at a time. But now he's got weakness in his right leg, and his right leg will give away, and he's fallen a lot in the house. So I've had to help him up. It hasn't been easy, let me just say that, for both of us. We both get frustrated and we take our frustrations out on each other. Not that we mean to. We love one another dearly and we'll do anything for each other. But it's just this stress and anxiety of the whole situation, not knowing why this is happening, and just feeling that everyday things like tying your shoelaces or getting your clothes on is tough. So I try to be patient. I try and put myself in his shoes. It's just very, very difficult. So, and I know I've been very difficult. So we're just making the best of the situation. We've been through a lot through our marriage. We have been married 9 years this year. Next year will be our 10-year wedding anniversary. I can't believe we've been 10 years. It's flown by so fast. But, marriages have their ups and downs, and also in sickness and in health and in the bad times. And, some people just can't handle being married. If there's a conflict in the marriage, or if words are expressed in the heat of the moment, like, a lot of people will just give up on the marriage. But that's not us. When we take our vows, we take them seriously, and we just give each other space, and then we come together and we apologize and love on one another. He already has weakness in his left leg because the left side is where the nerves in his back were weakened. He has epidurals also with his back too. So a lot's going on. So he's got to have basically an MRI scan on his back, which he hasn't had done for a long time. He has to go have an MRI done on his shoulder to see what that is. He's having a nerve conduction test today, which they put a probe in his back and his right leg to find out where the nerves may be weakened. And they put a probe, and it's basically like a really burning feeling. If you've ever had a nerve conduction test, you know what I'm talking about. So I really appreciate all your prayers, kindness, and love that you've shared with me in the comments section below. Really appreciate that. And basically also the other thing that's been really stressing me out is my mum back at home. She was in her garden. She loves to garden, and she was pruning back branches on not really a tree as such. It was like a big kind of branch plant, I guess, and a branch had hit her forehead here, and it had burst blood vessels. She went to a clinic, a 24-hour clinic. They basically just told her to go home and take naproxen, and didn't say it was anything serious like concussion or anything, but she was shaking. She wasn't nauseous or dizzy until much later. 3 weeks later, she started like feeling shaky, tired. Her eyes were heavy. She wasn't like nauseated or vomiting or anything. So she went to her primary care doctor, which we've been seeing our primary care doctor for like 35 years, since I was like 5 years old. I'm 37 now, so since around about that time. And basically she had sent her off for a brain scan. Mum went and had the brain scan a few days ago. Basically they put a cage over her head, and she was in the MRI machine for 15 minutes, came out feeling dizzy. She had to walk home because she doesn't drive either. I don't drive either, and that's what's really making things really difficult right now, because driving to appointments, even getting my husband to walk to the appointments is really, it's a struggle. A lot of these places do have wheelchair access if you want a wheelchair, but it's better if you try and walk as much as you can when you can, because atrophy can set in. But I've had so many things have stressed on me because I'm here. My mum's in Australia. She's really got no one to depend on or support her, except for one friend, which is a neighbour of hers. So she went to her doctor, and they read the scan, and she has migraines. So migraines had shown up on the scan. And back when she was in her 30s, she had migraines really bad, where she was put in hospital for over a month in a dark room. So we think that the branch hitting her had kind of triggered that again. For her to see a specialist, she just cannot afford to go see a specialist. She's probably going to be on some medication, maybe not. She might just have to put up with it, but she has arthritis everywhere. It's getting worse. Her whole hands and her neck, it's everywhere. It's really crippling her, and that's what I have too. I have arthritis as well, and I've been in a major flare-up, and it's kind of messed with my skin as well. I've had flaky skin on my face, and I have been completely exhausted, guys. That's why I haven't been making any videos. I've basically been in bed like nearly all day long, and when I get up, I just cannot stand. It's like I'm dragging myself. I have to have like 2 or 3 coffees to function. Keto has been hard to stick to. I feel like I'm failing every day. I'm just like not making it through every day. I feel hungry all the time. Gained 35 pounds. I can see my face. I've gained it all back in my face, and I know that I can do this. I know that I've lost the weight. I lost over 100 pounds, and I know that I can do it again. I just got to put my mind to it, and I think I'm going to start doing an egg fast, and I'm just going to stick to it because I feel like the egg fast will really drop some pounds quick. I'm not looking for a quick solution because I've been doing keto now this is going on my 4th year. So you would think that I'd know what to do, but really stress and anxiety and just pressure in life, it really does get to you, especially when it all tumbles together in one. Like, I can kind of deal with things when it's all spread out, but when it's just one thing after another, and then trying to keep the house clean, trying to keep up with Ollie, and he's crying nonstop, and he's having some behavioral issues, and we're going to have to get some animal behavioral training for him. I have like these horns, animal control horns that are coming in, because he's just constantly whining and whining and whining and whining and whining, and I love him to death, and I can't give my attention to him 24/7. We've had to leave him in the bedroom for our appointments. The one time he just didn't like that. He's got separation anxiety. He's not neutered yet. We're going to get that done. But just with everything that my husband's going through, because he might need surgery, he might need 2 surgeries or 3, who knows. He's also got fusions in his neck as well. So it's just like, even talking about this, I just feel the anxiety building up in me. So do any of you have this or feel this way when life just gets sometimes too much? And I really feel like I've been told this, that I should make time for myself, but that's more easier said than done, especially when you're trying to keep up with a family. You're the number one person that's there for your family and got to do everything, so it's kind of hard to leave the house and make time for yourself. But I am now going out with a dear friend of mine every week to do shopping. That's really helping us out. And there's so much noise around here, a lot of construction going on, so Ollie wants to go for a WALK. I have to spell, because if I say it, it'll go bananas, but it's been raining, so he can't. And yeah, so my mum, she's not coming over now because of this coronavirus. She's having to cancel her trip. Hopefully she'll get a full refund, because they were going to take advantage of this situation, which is not in anyone's hands. Now with the coronavirus, we have one case that tested positive actually yesterday, and they've been saying don't go out and buy masks, because then the medical places, the clinics, the hospitals won't be able to buy them, and that is putting your community at risk. Make sure that you don't touch your face. And with masks, you tend to touch your face a lot. So I know I have a really bad habit of touching my face. I also am a nail biter. So that's going to be, it's always an issue for me. That's a stress-related thing that I've always done. But wash your hands with alcohol soap. Find some alcohol soaps. Hand sanitizer is not always the answer unless it's got 60% alcohol in it. And also with the coronavirus, make sure that you quarantine yourself or isolate yourself, and make sure that your other family members have a place where they can go or you can go. If you feel like you've got a fever or you're feeling sick or shortness of breath, go to your health care professional. Make sure that you wear the mask then, so you're not exposing other people. In North Carolina, there is now a testing for positive testing to see if you've got it. We haven't had that here. We seem to be kind of behind the times, but a lot of people had got it in Washington, and that's where this one case had got it from, in North Carolina. It's in Salem, Winston, which is about an hour and a half where I live. So it seems a long way away, but really it's not. Stay away from gathering places, church, events, concerts, big shopping centres, big shopping malls, that kind of thing, as there's not a vaccine yet. And I mean, the flu is a lot worse, and no one quarantines people for the flu. People with the flu die every year, and they're not saying go quarantine people with the flu, because there's Tamiflu, there's some other pills out there that you can take to stop the severity of it, but basically all these things run its course. Like I read essential oils is good for recovery, elderberry syrup or gummies. Well, gummies probably not so much because we're keto and low carb, but if you're not, elderberry. What else did they recommend? Vitamin D. Get your vitamins in. Make sure that you take all your supplements and vitamins. But basically, it's a genetic thing. It's age. A lot of people that are dying from this are older people. I know my husband has had pneumonia before and it hasn't been pleasant. I have a friend who had pneumonia not that recently, so I'm trying to check in with her, but I haven't heard back from her, so I don't know what's going on. So yeah, it's just a very panicky time. Don't go out there and empty the shelves. Everyone's buying toilet paper and there's no toilet paper left. And then people are making money off of this. They're gouging with hand sanitizer, toilet paper. I don't know why people think that you need toilet paper. Like, I don't know. But they say you basically have to have 14 days worth of food, canned goods, pet food, diapers, anything you need for your baby. Make sure that you have your health records electronically on file so that if you need to call a doctor via video or via phone, that you've got the information there about your health. And also, like, if you're a woman, sanitary kind of things like that. But everyone is just panicking and people are saying just go about your business. So it's really hard, like, what to do. But we're just going about our business. They also said, like, have 1 gallon of water per person in your house for 14 days, which is a lot. We don't have any storage space in our house, so I can't be going out and buying bulk stuff. I mean, our whole house would be full of food and toilet paper, and it's crazy. It's really is crazy. So praying there'll be a vaccine out, and pretty much if there is a vaccine out, like, how are we gonna afford it, especially Americans? Like, is it going to be free to us? Nothing here is free. It's not a free healthcare system. Healthcare should be a right, not a privilege. Or not a privilege, should be a right for everyone. And yeah, like, I mean, what's all going to happen? The economy as well. Is the stock markets are crashing. Everything's made in China. Jobs. People are going to lose time and work with their jobs. It's just, yeah. So don't think about tomorrow, think about today, live in the today. That's what my husband always tells me. Don't worry about what happens tomorrow. We'll figure out what happens tomorrow. You know, you can plan and map everything out in your life, but it's most likely not going to go that way. So hope that you guys are doing well, and I pray for anyone in Nashville right now in Tennessee, as they had a really bad tornado wipe over and a lot of lives were lost, and there's actually a lot of people missing right now. So I pray for them. I pray that they find the people. I pray for the family who have lost loved ones. It's a devastating thing to happen. We had tornadoes about a month or so ago, which was pretty scary because it was like really close to us, like 5 minutes away. It could have hit us. So yeah, natural disasters and things like that. The Bible is really playing into effect now with locusts, with plagues, which is kind of like this coronavirus, with fires and floods, and it really is the end time. Jesus is coming. So if you are not a believer and you want to give your heart to Jesus, great for you, because it changes your life. You have everlasting life in heaven with our Father. And yeah, you know, so anyway, I gotta go because getting ready for his appointment. Hope everything will go well and we'll have some answers today. So I'll try and do a follow-up video. But thank you all for your patience and love and understanding at this difficult time. Thank you for your support. If you're new, please consider subscribing. I appreciate your support so much. Y'all, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be making videos. I wouldn't be probably getting up in the morning. It can be just such a struggle. But yeah, have a good one. Bye for now.